Nearly 100 of you sent me a video yesterday afternoon and evening. I didn't go to sleep till quite late, and all I could hear all night was yes. So no more swans. You're done. Bye-bye. But we will talk about the swan, and we'll talk about lots of things as we approach the end of this session. I have some good news for you later. Firstly, a little word of apology. When it rains here in my village, the Wi-Fi slows down. So although we've got the doors open, I really hope that there's no interruption. If there is, I apologize, and hopefully it'll only be for a second. But when it rains, the Wi-Fi slows down. I don't really know why. So, thank you for all those, again, that took part in the competition. We had entries from Australia, from America, from Japan, from Mexico, from India. Just unbelievable. And great to see young people having a go. We had lots of different instruments, but anyway, more of that when we get to the competition. We're going to go over the most important things. I hope you're ready for some action. I hope you've got your instrument, not this one, but it's mine. I hope you've got your instrument nearby. You're going to join in with the exercises. If today is your first day and you'll feel there's some continuity going on that you're not aware of, please go back and try to find the other 3 videos. They're going to be either at the Euphonium Club, and I'm happy to say we've had 1,000 new members this week. That's really great. And they're going to be on YouTube, of course. So today we're going to do some recap. We're going to work on some legato. We're going to talk about vibrato. We're going to talk about strengthening your embouchure, some chromatic scales, the competition. Then we're going to talk about nerves and stress, which of course is very important for many of us, for all of us, of course, because when we play in public, we want our best, and sometimes the feeling of having to give our best causes some overload in our head, which causes stress. So I can't guarantee that I have the answer for you. I've just realized I haven't plugged in my microphone. So a little better. Today with the competition, we're still running and active. 138 of you watching. Yes, we're back in action. Good. So we talked from Wednesday. We talked about posture. We talked about relaxing and being open. All of the things that 90 of you were thinking about when you recorded your video yesterday. It's easy to talk about it. Of course, not easy to do. And certainly, we are all creatures of habit. And so what I've been encouraging you this week to think about is, where are you? What are you doing about certain aspects of your musicality and your physicality? And then what's up here? Where are your doubts, and what can we do to override your feeling of doubt and negativity and make you think about practicing in a more positive way, organizing your practice time between the daily basics, and then being adventurous, taking on challenges of new etudes, new solo pieces, recording yourself, and who knows where this is going to end up. We're going to be here a few more weeks. I had a chat with the Prime Minister, said, look, we need a few more weeks locked down. We're just starting to get into the practice routine, and he's to do this. And you've got time to practice and to really plan your practice that's going to take you through the next few years. Okay, folks, it's time to do some stretching. You remember this one? We'll do 3 of these, and then 1 series of 5 of these. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just bear with me, okay? 3. Stay relaxed. Open the spaces. The smoother you can do that, the better. If your arms are stepping, do it without the steps. 3 up and down. Open the spaces. Silent is good, as I mentioned. Great. 5 steps, yeah? Here we go. Oops, careful here. I'm starting to feel like a swan. But not an angry swan, a chilled out swan. And a bigger breath. Now, if you start to practice and you feel you've still got all the cares of the world on your back, do it a few times until you feel better. The other one I told you about that we were going to do, and I hope you haven't had a big breakfast, I've hardly eaten today, I've just had a coffee, is a breathing exercise where we go down to breathe out. Breathe in. Try that if you want. If you think, I'd rather sit this one out, that's okay. But if you're up for it, and you're not going to smash your instrument by putting it down too fast, let's try it. Breathe in, and then we're going to go out. That's the feeling that I enjoy. That we talked about yesterday, preparing body and mind, getting in the zone, leaving the cares of the world outside the practice room while you get ready to become a musician, an artist, express yourself, learn, feel good, develop yourself. Makes us ready to take on pretty much anything that the world would throw at us. And right now it's chucking a lot at us, as you know. Okay, a lot of you have been doing these flapping exercises for the lips. Recommend it. I look back on the video and it looks really weird because of the shutter speed of the camera. It looks like I'm some kind of weird sea creature, but I hope you can hear it. Let's try that together. Once more. Nice and firm here. And then nice energy in the middle. Let's try some low ones. Try it once. Good. Give yourself a wipe down. La-dee-da-da-dum with your lips. Drive the air through the lips. These are vibrating muscles. Okay, they're not controlling muscles. You control here and here and fix here. Have a go. Good. We're going to do one breathing exercise. You know, we've done numbers 1, 3, 1, 5, well, 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, 8. We're going to do 1, 4, 1, 12. We're doing extremes today. Get ready for it. You know what the 4 is going to be like, but plan for the 12-second exhale. 1, 4, 1, 12. Here we go. And you remember when 8 was difficult. You see, the idea of this and these regular exercises with the air is that we become the boss of the air. We take it, thank you very much. And then all the other disciplines we have basically work from that. But without, we are always fighting. We're fighting the muscles, and then our doubt and insecurity and lack of confidence comes from that. I notice if I blow into the microphone, it sounds a bit whistly, so sorry about that. Okay, great. I do want you to sing more. Okay, it's good for you and it's natural. And many things that you do when you practice or when you play So if your singing experience was long ago, or you can't connect the two concepts, and you go, then think about Maria, and that's the swan. Of course, many of you spent some time. I don't know whether you did it in 1 take or 20 takes. Anyway, thank you for your best ones. But even from the buzz, you know, we talked about take the stress away from this, because we always sing from here. We don't sing here. I'm trying to get to like it. I mean, it's the only one you've got, but you know what I mean. And if you're tight, find the connection. So if you've never buzzed before, or you know, and that's your warm-up, think about how you can progress that. Brilliant. Okay, singing. We're going to do a little warm-up together with our instruments, because we're going to start low. Down to F sharp treble clef. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Normally, of course, use the 4th valve euphonium players if you have it. 1 octave higher, my friends. 1 octave higher. Same. 1, 2. 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3 here. Some people asked about this. How big should this space be? I don't want you to get a ruler out or whatever, but think of the space for your little finger here. That's all. Not that way. Well, good luck if you try it that way. Well, it looks bad anyway, doesn't it? So, same exercise again. Be brave. See if you can get to the end. Here we go. Very good. Okay, then we're going to get moving a little bit. Open notes, C, G, going down through the valves. We're going to move it, so concentrate, work out what's coming next, and we'll stop at F sharp. 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't slow down. Ba-da-dee-dum, ba-da-dee-da-dum, be-dee-dee. Turn it the other way. And that big breath in between. Shall we try? 1, 2, 3. And try and keep the air smooth, you know. As we talked about before. And they'll form a good picture. Study book, you turn with this positive spirit and openness. Okay, good stuff. So we're starting to getting a little bit warmer. We're going to try an exercise in fifths. This is working onto the legato exercise. flat, treble clef C major. C, D, A, D, E, B. Okay, it's like elegant sounds. The swan is coming back soon, so we'll put him here. 1, 2, 3. Notice a lot of the warm-up stuff I'm doing, except for specific tonguing exercises, soft tongue to begin and legato. So many people are so dependent on the tongue acting like a gun. Okay, so guns are banned here because we don't sing do, dee, do, la. So trace everything back to the voice. If you think you're not doing it right, you don't like what you're doing. Okay, let's do that once more, a little faster. 1, 2, 3. Take your time. You know, it should feel good if you're open. Now, one thing I noticed, and we'll talk about some specifics of the videos I heard, a lot of you are still, although you do the breathing exercises well, when you come to specific exercises like this, that gets disregarded, and you would go. So it's like a golfer with no backswing, you know? Sorry, you know why I'm moving back. Now, when you don't breathe, or if you breathe out of rhythm, so if you're wearing loose-fitting clothing today, which I hope you are, if you're dressed up in a suit to stay at home, there's something wrong. Try some golf swings of different magnitudes, you know, chipping out of the sand. 250 at little. Let's dream, especially you amateur golfers. And those that have production problems, you might also want to go. And as you release the air, do that. A lot of people, I sensed yesterday listening to the videos deep into the night. Some of you are not comfortable with beginning notes, and it's very common. All our doubt and stress about playing in one note. You can use the tongue depending on the circumstance, of course. Now, how to get smoother notes? Well, if you have a pen or pencil or a chopstick or a clean finger, always wash your hands. Let's just try, imagine we're playing an octave. Nothing's moving here. This is not changing. Of course, it's connected to the tongue position stuff that we've talked about with relation to or the low tones, the pedal tones. Bit early morning for that. Tongue position, air speed. But we don't want to lose that focus. And when we think of when this moves or shifts or this shifts, then you're going to diminish your ability to play legato and therefore beautifully and elegantly. Because that kind of stuff is relatively easy, isn't it? But quiet stuff, crescendos, No prizes for what that is, euphonium players. So let's just try some octaves together, okay? Okay, so we'll start on C and we're going to go down. You can, by all means, go up as high as you can, but no space between the notes, and don't tongue the second note. Vibrato. Use it here. It's fine. Don't overdo it and make sure you're controlling it. Okay, octaves. C, B, B flat, A flat, G. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Relax. Relax your arms. Imagine your voice. Three spaces. Okay, well done. Well done. Now, of course, it's important that we do this, and the ability to do it at all different speeds and all different ranges. So don't get nasty surprises from your instrument. Don't blame the mouthpiece. You again. It's all you. And it's because of your stress and worry and lack of believing and trusting yourself. And this connects with the little section on nerves later. That's why it's difficult. Now we're going to go the other way, starting on your Now imagine you're playing a string instrument. You know, it's so lovely to watch. We don't have that as a brass player. All we have is... So think of movement. That's why that's important. That's why that's important. And this, because it's all movement connected to air. Third space C. 1, 2, 3. So if you want to play it a little bit expressively, even with a crescendo, but know that you're going to do that rather than keep it exactly the same dynamic. That's a very good test. Nice and strong here, firm in the corners, and always, even the simplest of exercises, supporting from the middle of the body. I don't want you to think that you have to compress, because as soon as you do that, try that now, you feel it here too. It's impossible really to isolate that. So what's happening is a natural movement of your body supporting the journey of the air through its instrument. Of course, we work here more when we play pedal tones, when we play in the extremes. But be aware of that. And people who say that they worry about the long tone practice, that I hope you've been doing, 20 seconds, there's a good chance for you to think about that. Good spaces, open. If you listen to yourself and analyze gently and positively, your sound will become more resonant. And you know, when we listen to a player in 2 seconds, you say, oh, he sounds good. Not because he's got a shiny instrument or because he's playing loud or she's playing loud. It's because there's something in the sound that's resonant. Like a voice, you know. We're not all going to have newsreader's voice. You know, this is the BBC. Welcome to the 10 o'clock news. No. Or opera singers. I won't go there now. But you know what I mean? We don't always have that voice, but we can be more resonant by doing the right things. So octaves, you can also try. One of the books I used for ages, the warm-ups by Emery Remington. And of course, they're also in the brass gym. I'll talk about some books in a little bit. Expand the intervals. Now, a lot of you played really nicely in the competition until the high A, and I could hear things tightening. That's just old habits. And what I'm encouraging you to think about are all your old habits the very best you can do? Probably not, for none of us, you know. So it's, oh, the cat's just walked in. Misa, could you please remove Buster? Hello, Buster. Yes, it's very nice to see you. But, oh dear.
He wasn't crying though, so.
Yeah, it'd be me crying in a minute. Right, so Buster's gone. Expanding intervals, octave, 10th, and so on. 2 octaves should be really great. Try it starting on the high note and so forth. Now, a question I often get asked about when I'm traveling, when I'm teaching, is vibrato. Some people use it very naturally, and there's almost nothing to talk about because they just feel it and they do it. Others of you don't use vibrato, and when I ask you why not, usually it's like, I don't know how to do it. Or you may have met an orchestral teacher that says, you need to cut out this, you're in league with the devil if you use vibrato. I mean, honestly, you would be amazed at some of the black and white views I've come across on my travels with vibrato. So it's an expressive color. It's a beautiful color. Vibrato itself, of course, isn't tone. Your tone is your tone. Your vibrato, however you use it, is a coloring. And you need to maximize the space for your air when you use it. So if you use a beautiful vibrato and you're perfectly happy, then the next minute is probably not so useful. But if you've never used vibrato and you would love to, think of the word ya and think what the jaw does. Ya, 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 ya. So imagine we're slightly crazed, and I want you to go ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Take away the voice. Now you feel the mechanism. We're exaggerating, of course. And now let's blow more air through our lips as we do that. You feel the rhythm to it? Now imagine your embouchure. If you have this close by, 1, 2, 3. Context. Something, there he is. Something swimming gently on the water. I'm not suddenly becoming closed. It has to stay open. Middle G, treble clef, folks. Straight tone first. It's like, you know, those of you old enough to remember when the TV used to do that at about 12:30 at night. Beep. Which means turn off your TV and go to bed. You must be able to do that. If you're doing that and you're still moving or shaking, you've got to straighten that up, you know. The pedal tone practice we talked about will help. But here a little harder to keep dead straight. And then let's repeat now with ya, 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 ya. A beautiful sound. And if you forget that concept, keep thinking ya, 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 but not ya, 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 but more this little baby here. Okay, let's try it on a G again, and we're going to go. Let's try it. Good. Let's make the vibrato just a little wider. protest. You may not like it, but show that you're in control. Good. Let's make it very gentle. Very gentle. Quality warm air. Good. Let's change the interval. Like from a hymn on a Sunday morning, yeah? 3, 4. Try it a little softer. And just for kicks, let's try that with a fast vibrato. Okay, so at least if you hear someone else doing it, you know what they're doing. Like this. So long as you're in control, you can pick your colors. Okay? 1, 2. And you know, there's still a lot of very traditional brass band pieces where you will hear that sound, and if it's done in the right context, if it's really, you know, although it may sound a little strange on its own, there is nothing wrong with that. And when don't use vibrato to cover up bad tuning, okay? Because tuning is tuning, tone is tone. Vibrato is an expressive color which you can use. So the quick summarization, ya, 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 ya. And you must work on your straight tones first. And then it's a question of when you use it. There is no guidebook. Under these circumstances, you may use 10% vibrato. In this circumstance, up to 50% is, you know, there are, apart from stay home. Lip strengthening. Okay, now, of course, the more practice you do, and I know a lot of you have said that you feel motivated to practice now. That's amazing. So your lips are going to get stronger. Those of you that have been practicing since Wednesday will think, you know what, this is already coming on. So that's fine. And of course, playing scales, playing arpeggios, playing long tones, all these work really well. But there's one that I'm going to show you now. It's called lip bending, which actually will make your lips more sensitive and give you more control over here. So not only are you going to become stronger, it's going to become more reactive to your control, rather than, you know, whose are these? So let's start on a middle F. Middle to low range is fine. Higher you go with lip bending, of course, it's more difficult. And what do I mean lip bending? I mean changing the notes without changing your slide position or the vowels. So very small groups of muscles here are going to do this, and by that and this staying fixed, you're going to become stronger. So let's try that together. F, E, F, but don't change the fingers. And quite a good dynamic, not too soft. Take a breath. Again. Okay, try this. You may accidentally fall to the next harmonic. Okay, so keep things nice and strong here, and by doing this, your muscles are going to get stronger. Okay, if you feel that's good, obviously try these on different notes. So let's try it on low C, and then we'll take the next step. And try and make it sound like a proper note rather than you can do it. You've got to stay open. You need a lot of air moving through here. Okay, let's go. Bigger sound. Okay, now let's try an extra note. You can either think or let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Bigger sound, guys. Bigger sound. I can't hear you. Take a bigger breath. Relax more. Keep your arms out. Let's try it on low B. Same thing. B, da 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 dum. Stable notes. Try B flat. Relax more. Very good. You can do bigger intervals. If you can play your pedal tones, then start down there. Okay, it's good therapy, it's a strengthener, it's a relaxer. Another one you can try are octave scales with no valves, in fact half valves. So instead of now, I'm never going to make a CD where that is featured. Poor old swan. Okay, but I want you to try and burst your instrument. Okay, lots of air. Not literally. If you do, don't call me. Yeah, I burst it and here's the bill. Okay, try it once. I promise I won't laugh because I can't see you and I can't hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a breath. Marvelous, marvelous. You may be thinking, what on earth am I doing? When somebody says, what did you learn in class today? We are not regressing, we are developing. It's just a technique. Can we try 2 octaves? Don't press too hard. I don't want a dentist bill either. If you say, loosen front teeth as a result of performing this exercise. No. It gives you a great chance to think about. Okay, so there's 2. Bending and half valve exercise. This is a little weird. The bending can be nice, but try to get it smooth so there's no gaps with the half valve stuff. Okay, chromatic scales. Time is moving on. After chromatic scales, we talk about the competition. Is your heart beating a little faster? I had a few people that sent their videos and then sent a letter of apology. No need. No need. You know what this was about. It was about you being brave and expressing yourself and finding some new challenge, which you did. By the sackful, it was fantastic. Okay, chromatic scales. Good for your fingers, good for your understanding and preparing you for anything you come across in a band piece or a solo. Okay, let's not try that. Slowly, as you think about the notes and as you, thanks for your contribution, a bit like Buster, same color. 1 octave chromatic going up. Take a breath. Legato. Excuse me. And again. Hit the fingers harder. trying to break your valves. Come on. What's the air doing? This has nothing to do with the swan. Your air. Let's go down. Let's go. Breath. I know it's harder, especially if you're running out of air. So it's good for second and third. Fingers, you've got to keep it smooth. Don't go. That's another exercise. It's not part of this one. Keep strong. 3 spaces. Keep your eyes open. Keep your body relaxed. Hello. And here we go. 1, 2. Faster. 1, 2, 3. Trombonist, if your slide is getting hot, just put some water on it. Faster. 1, 2. Okay, let's build a finger exercise into that, as if it's not enough. Every good, but half of them are short. 1, 2. Twice through. Put a repeat in it. 1, like that. You want a challenge? I know. You're sitting up going, yeah, it's all very, very easy so far. Twice with this rhythm. Short, long, short, long. Let's go. 1, 2. Sounds easy, doesn't it? And of course, there are other notes to start on apart from the C, you know? So D flat, same stuff, but just puts the fingers in a different sequence. Okay, a lot of people don't like chromatic scales, okay, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I don't love them with the passion, you know, like I love misa or, you know, foie gras or anything, or fine wine, but I do like the feeling of that elegant moving between the notes. And of course, let's try it now with the tongue. Go back to C. Tongue and fingers working exactly together. 1, 2. Let's try 2 octaves, folks. Come on. 1, 2. I know what you're thinking. Only 2 octaves? Euphonium players with a 4th valve, 3 octaves. Are you ready? Yeah, we're starting there. You need a big breath, by the way. 1, 2. Okay, so play around with that. Make friends with your fingers. Try, strange expression, but you know what I mean. Legato, staccato, different speeds. When you're happy with that, okay, the coffee is finally getting to me. Good, so enjoy chromatic scales. Do not ignore them. Do not put them in the cabinet marked can't do, won't try, like lip slurs and lip flexibility. Okay, it's competition time. Okay, in the competition. absolutely brilliant. I got the first one 6 minutes after the end of yesterday's lesson. 6 minutes. Beep. It's like, it must be a message. It was a video. Giacomo, you are the first. There's no prizes for first, if you know what I mean. First to receive. And some arrived on the stroke of midnight. One arrived at 1:15 midnight and one arrived this morning because of the time zones with Hong Kong. So brilliant. From all over the world. You are amazing. Now, I have lots of things to say about it. Firstly, of course, it's a competition. There are winners and there will be prizes. We've got stuff here from the Euphonium store. Dictionaries, CDs, Ultra Breathes. The only product placement of the whole week. And some pens. And they'll be going to the people who I describe as winners. But actually, you're all winners because you took the challenge. Some of you were like, oh, I'm not sure I should do this. Oh. But you did it, and you should feel good about it. Now, yes, I have lots of comments about each of you. And I'm not going to read them all out now. You've all got a mark. You are don't put freeze frame and try to work out what I've said because there's... So these are all in the 3 age categories. There were a couple that were basically perfect. There were some that were brave efforts. I could see how much it meant to get that right. And some of you played it very nicely but didn't actually count properly or played expressively, or you didn't realize that some notes were not in tune. So let me talk about, maybe you've seen the winners list already. I'm going to put this up on Euphonium Club as soon as I say goodbye to you. So in the 16 and under category, some really fantastic entrants. We had flugelhorn, we had trombone, we had euphonium, we had some transpositions, but there were 3 that I really thought were outstanding, and they were Daniel Home, Jenny Sung, and Ryan Padnis. Congratulations to those 3. Highly commended to the others. You'll see your names on the list. To the rest of you, in the 17 to 40 category, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I thought were outstanding. And they are Anthony Smith, Patrick Nyron, Emily M, Jonas Haiti from Finland, Giuliano Ceberano, and Andrew Porter. And the 2 best ones for me were Anthony Smith and Patrick Nyron. Congratulations to both of you. But all you guys will get some prizes. In the outstanding category, well, you'll see the list. There's too many names. You'll see it soon. But there were some really, really good ones that didn't... I mean, look, it was only 9 bars of music. So it's really hard to say exactly. But now, in terms of feedback, I've got some good news for you. And some outstanding and some highly commended. In the 41 and over category, there were 2 that I thought were really outstanding. Giovanni Casconi and Harold Finn. Different performances, but showed total command, elegance, beautiful sound, and really perfect intonation. The outstanding ones were Edwin Denise. I'm sorry for the pronunciations, but you're from all around the world. Bona Appetit, Dennis Salvini, Dominic Jolivet, Della Pierce, Brian Downey, and Dave Ammon. And highly commended. I'm going to be awarding 2 special prizes to a young man from India and a young man from Mexico who were very brave. Not perfect recordings by any means, but I understood the circumstances in which they recorded and the instruments they played on. So their names will be up on the list. I shall be sending prizes to them. So, all beautiful, as I say, but then the main things that we can talk about, and time is running a little bit, the breath. Because it's a slow piece, you have to be in control of the breath. You don't need to play as if you're playing the last note of Pines of Rome, but it has to be a breath that will have energy and allow you to start gently. And then last notes of phrases. Needs the same quality. And the way you finish these notes, there were quite a few that were kind of cut. Look at him or her. Hard to tell, really. smooth endings to notes. Okay? Can you maintain the quality of your sound? Some of you dong, hitting notes a little bit harder than you need to. DAH. Ends of notes. Don't rush the quavers. Don't rush the eighth notes. There was some pretty quick passing notes. Like you were racing for the finishing line. Yeah? The version I played at the beginning of class was Yo-Yo Ma with piano. It's on YouTube. It's very pretty. So please don't just listen to euphonium players. We are part of a bigger musical world, and you need to immerse yourself in beautiful sounds wherever you hear them, especially of the nature of music that we play. One or two of you had some problems with tuning. A little bit sharp on those notes. So if you're not sure about your tuning, and if you don't trust your ear, trust a tuning machine and spend a few minutes a week, hours possibly, looking at it and then trying a phrase, looking at it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of tuning machines. Some teachers say, oh no, it should only be here. But if it's not there, you need some help. Okay? One or two pear-shaped notes, by which I mean not so bad, but be aware that if you're going, your air can be very elegant. If you're going, that's not going to work. If you're trying to, hello mate, lie down. It's not going to work if you are trying to play a smooth melody. Some of you put huge gaps between the phrases. Da, 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 bomb. Okay, the piano part does not go da da dee da 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 dee da while you breathe. Okay, so if you listen to the original, you know that has to be continuous. It has to be, this little chap doesn't like, well, I guess they do take a nosedive, but not in this piece. And some of you played it with no expression, and some of you played it as if it was a swan from Jurassic Park. Okay, so you did your best, and I'm so proud of what you did. And yes, I have lots of comments, but here's the big news. I will give you individual comments after the next competition. The next competition will be at the end of the next session of lessons, which is not next week, it's the week after. I've got some dates, I'll put them on the site. We're going to have 3 more classes. Thursday, the 30th of April, Friday, the 1st of May, Saturday, the 2nd of May. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the week after next, we will do this again. And I'm giving you 2 weeks to practice. Okay? And we'll have another competition, and all your marks will be on my computer, and I will be able then to talk about how you've improved in the 2 weeks, because I know you're going to practice. You're going to get your study books out, you're going to work hard, and you're going to improve. And so the next piece would be similar length, but a little bit more difficult, obviously with some technique and some finger stuff. And I will post that at the beginning of the next set of classes on Thursday, the 30th of April. I don't want you just to practice this piece, whatever it is. And it may be different for the young, for the middle age group, and those of you a little bit older. So more competitions and 3 more classes to come. So well done. Nerves. So we're probably going to go over about 12 or 15 minutes today. I hope that's okay. If you have to go out, then see ya, and you can catch up later. Nerves. I'm sure some of you were quite nervous about the competition because you're recording something, you know. It's a bit like a band contest, but it's a band contest, well, it's a solo contest. But it was more for you to have the bravery to switch that machine on, play it a few times till you're happy, and then send it so somebody else listens. And so, how did you control that? Did you think about the breath? Were you positive in your mind? It's quite likely, of course, because we've only been talking about this stuff for 4 days, that you were a bit nervous and a bit tight, and you did squeeze, and you didn't So this is the beginning of a process for many of you. Quite a few of you that took part were professionals, trainee professionals, student professionals, and of course they were very good. Some really high marks right across the board. But let's see how you get on in the next 2 weeks if you really focus, and then we'll have a competition piece that tests some technique as well. But where does nerves and stress come from? It comes from here. It comes from deep inside here. I'm not an expert on this. I'm not a doctor of nervousness. But I do play a concert once a week, and I have to deal with this, and I do get nervous, and I always have, and some days it's better than others. And the days that I'm not nervous at all, I get worried, because I should be, because I care about what I'm doing. So a little bit of stress when you play is good. It means you care. It means you want to do your best. It's only when you go into what I call the red zone. Green, orange, top of the orange, fine. Red, something may go wrong. Your tone, your breath, your production. So you have to control all that. Preparation is the key. Physical preparation in terms of practicing your music slowly, over and over again. Concentrating on everything you've learned from the basics. Finger technique, body position. All of these things will help you to become a more confident player. If you're playing with all the stuff that you've done in the past and you've always been nervous and you don't change, there's no magic pill, you know. There are things that you can do in terms of not over practice. As you get to something important, don't do 10 hours more practice, because your lips will not respond in the same way, or they'll become flat, and then your body will ring alarm bells and you'll get nervous. So it's very important that you can think about how you practice, how to peak your practice at the right time, and how to gain confidence by doing things well. Not once, but over and over again. Okay, and I don't mean before a band contest you play your solo piece on the day of a contest 50 times, because that gets in your head as well. It's playing it until you can say, I got this, it's going to be fine. And then be relaxed about it and put it away. Don't overplay things, especially if you have to play in a competition. And that positivity comes from doing things well, and it all stems back. Are you in control of your breathing? Okay, so if you've never done breathing exercises, and if you feel that your lungs are unresponsive, please work on that. Diet. David Abrahams asked about diet. We're all very different, you know. Some people say, you know, I eat a hot curry and I can play really well. It will kill some people, literally. Some people don't eat before they play. Some people like to eat just before they play. Some people don't think about that and nervous for other reasons or whatever. Personally, I like to eat about 1 hour before I play, and not too heavy. But if I don't eat, then I feel a little hollow. But we're all different. You need to find what works for you. When I was in Desford Band, Howard Snell used to say, let's just eat something very bland. A cheese sandwich and a cup of tea is what he said. Nothing that's going to affect your concentration, or, you know, if garlic or anything spicy messes up your mouth. If it's important, don't do that at that point. Don't overeat. There's no space for the air. If you get dry, now this is an interesting one. If you feel you're going to get dry, have some water nearby and you won't need it. You won't need it. It's a psychological thing. If you've got a bottle of water spray in your pocket as you go on a contest stage, you're less likely to go dry than if you leave that in your instrument case in the changing room. Okay, so these are all mental tricks that we play with ourselves. Bananas are quite good. I occasionally eat it, but not religiously. I will eat a banana. It's very good because it just can calm the body for some people. If your blood sugar is prone to, then you probably already know what to do and what not to do. And in the end, trust yourself. You know, I am a musician. I practice this. I'm going to play for you. I'm going to play in the band. I'm going to play in a quartet. You know, and that is a life feeling. It's not just what happens when you pick up your instrument. It's you in the world meeting people, crossing the road, saying good morning to people, playing your cornet in a band practice. It's being honest with yourself. Yes, I've done the work. It's going to be fine. Or I haven't done the work. Yeah, sure. If you haven't practiced and you can't play your piece and you're playing a band contest, you deserve to be nervous. Okay, happy birthday in 4 keys. You thought I'd forgotten. Okay, we're going to do it at high speed. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. And we're going to do the one starting on F, treble clef, the one starting on A, and the one starting on F sharp. Have you been practicing? Put your hand up. Go to the naughty step if you have not. But we talked about transposition. Starting on F. Are you ready? 1. 'Don't get emotional and put the pause in. Right, 1. 2 out of 2. Well done. What do you mean you practiced it slower? Come on. 3rd one. F sharp. 1. 'Did you do the arpeggio at the end? Got a book of hymn tunes. Start on a different note. Remember to change key as well as the note. Okay. Today, but after today, they're going to have to wait until I see you in just under 2 weeks' time, because otherwise I'll do nothing else. Okay, I've tried to give you my heart and soul in these days, and I hope that you've benefited from it. Okay, it's been really great working with you. I hope you feel motivated and energized. If you don't have a book and you're not sure, there's a couple of books here I would recommend. Misa's Technicals, very good book. These are all in the euphoniumstore.net. Brass Gym, very fine book. Comes with a CD that you can play along with. The Brass Gym. The Breathing Gym. A lot of the ideas that we talk about are also, of course, in here. Very fine book. Pat Sheridan and the much missed Sam Palafian. And if you're a bass clef reader, I've only got this in bass clef. Basics Plus. It's a really great one. Lots of exercises, and it's always written in 2 parts, so you can do that with somebody in the house. But I say only bass clef, all at Euphonium Store. Okay, it's time for our grand finale. Have I missed anything? We're going to see you soon. And for the grand finale, what could be better than 1 euphonium? 2 euphoniums. Okay, I'm very happy to welcome my lovely wife, Misa. How many of you are still watching? 155. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, 155 of you. And Misa's also been very creative the last days, doing arrangements and posting videos. And here is Misa now. I'll just adjust the camera a little bit. So Misa's written a brand new arrangement of a piece by Gershwin, and we just started. I want to play it for you now. So this is a world premiere version. I won't be needing chopsticks. Are we warm? I Got Rhythm by George Gershwin. Just a couple of things afterwards, so don't go and put the kettle on just yet. Quite tricky in places. Now, the good news is, if you like this duet, from next YouTube channel, and you can play this with her. Is that right?
Play along with me.
This arrangement. So if you like it, this is your afternoon taken care of. Have a listen. Here we go. We had to applaud because we can't hear.
Nobody.
Good. Well done. So, whenever you want, if you go to Mr. Mead's YouTube channel. And finally, thanks to you for being part of these 4 days. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. Please invite others to join in 2 weeks' time. Invite people to look at the 4 videos that will be on YouTube or on the Euphonium Club page. I have to mention my dear sponsors, to Besson, whose instruments I've played since I was 6 years old. To Dennis Wick, whose mouthpieces I help design and promote. And of course the euphoniumstore.net. Please stay safe. Please look after yourselves. Play in the street. Play with people over the fence. You know, come on, let's be creative. You were amazing yesterday with this competition. I want to say happy birthday to my sister, Sandra, who's 60 years old today. We were supposed to have a big party in Bristol today, but of course the lockdown has killed everything. So Sandra, you'll watch this at some point. Happy birthday to you. Hope to see some of you at the Bolsover Summer School. It's cancelled this year, or postponed is the word. And so start thinking about what you're going to be doing in July 2021. Come and join us at the Bolsover International Brass Band Summer School. It's amazing. Many of you who watch this and subscribe are part of that beautiful family of brass players every summer. And good luck to all of you. See you soon.